When my wife, Hannah, announced she was pregnant, the entire room erupted with cheers. We were at her parents' house, surrounded by family and friends, and she stood there glowing, hand resting on her stomach, smiling like she'd just handed the world a miracle. I smiled too, or at least, I tried to. Everyone rushed forward to hug her, congratulate us, and toast to the new life we'd created. But while everyone celebrated, I just stood there, clutching my glass of water so tightly it almost cracked in my hand. Because what no one in that room knew, what I had discovered just 3 days earlier, was that the baby she was carrying wasn't mine. It had started with something small. A text message on her phone that came late one night. I wasn't snooping. Her phone had lit up beside me while she was in the shower. The message was from a man named Daniel. It said, "I can't stop thinking about what we did. I don't care what happens next." My first reaction wasn't anger, it was disbelief. I thought it had to be a misunderstanding, maybe an old friend or a joke. But when I scrolled up just a little, I saw the truth laid bare in dozens of messages. Plans to meet, confessions, late-night calls, all from the past few months. It hit me like a tidal wave. The dates lined up exactly with the time she claimed we were trying for a baby. My hands had gone numb, my heart a dull throb in my chest. That night, I didn't confront her. I just sat in the dark, listening to her breathe in her sleep, wondering when our love had turned into something so fragile it could break without me even noticing. 3 days later, she announced the pregnancy. I didn't know she was going to do it. I thought we'd have time to talk, time to figure out how to move forward. But instead, she stood in the middle of her parents' living room, tears in her eyes, and said, "We're having a baby!" Everyone screamed with joy. Her mother cried. Her father clapped me on the shoulder, saying, "You're going to be a great dad." And all I could think was, I don't even know if I'm a dad at all. I watched her bask in the celebration, watched her avoid my eyes the whole time, and something inside me snapped. I couldn't keep living inside a lie. So I stood up. "Actually," I said, my voice louder than I meant it to be, "there's something everyone should know." The room fell silent. Every head turned toward me, confused. Hannah froze, her smile faltering. "What are you doing?" she whispered. I took a breath, my heart pounding so hard I could barely hear myself. "Before we celebrate this," I said slowly, "I think it's important to be honest. I just found out some things that make me unsure this child is mine." A collective gasp filled the room. Her mother covered her mouth. Her father frowned, looking between us. Hannah's face drained of color. "Ethan," she hissed, "not here. Please." "Why not here?" I said. "You didn't mind sharing the good part in front of everyone. Why not the truth?" Tears filled her eyes. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," I cut in. "I saw the messages, Hannah. Between you and Daniel." A few people whispered. Her father stepped forward. "Is this true?" he asked, voice tight. Hannah broke down, sobbing. "It was a mistake," she cried. "It happened once. I didn't mean for it to. I didn't even know how to tell him. I was scared." The silence that followed was deafening. I could hear my pulse in my ears. "And now?" I asked quietly. "Are you scared because you might be having his child?" She covered her face, shaking. "I don't know." That was it. 3 words. The knife twist. Her mother was crying now, her father standing rigid, unsure what to do. I set my glass down carefully, my voice calm even though my insides were on fire. "I wish you'd told me the truth before involving everyone else," I said. "I would have handled it privately. But since you chose to make this public," I turned to the crowd, every eye on me. "I'm stepping back until I know for sure. If the baby's mine, I'll be the father it deserves. If not, I wish her and the child the best, but I'm done pretending." And with that, I walked out. I didn't slam the door or shout. I just left, the cheers and laughter replaced by a silence so heavy it followed me all the way home. That night, she called over and over. I didn't answer. When I finally did, she was sobbing uncontrollably. "Ethan, I'm so sorry," she said. "I didn't want to lose you. I didn't know how to tell you." "Then why tell the world before telling me?" I asked. She couldn't answer. Weeks passed. We went through DNA testing once the baby was far enough along. Every day waiting for the result felt like a lifetime. And then, one morning, the envelope came. I sat on the edge of the bed, holding it with shaking hands. Hannah stood across the room, crying silently. I opened it. Probability of paternity, 0%. My world went quiet. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just folded the paper neatly and handed it to her. Now we both know, I said. She sank to the floor, sobbing, begging me to forgive her, but there was nothing left to forgive, because forgiveness only matters when there's something left to save. I packed my bags that afternoon and left. Months later, I heard through a mutual friend that she'd given birth to a healthy baby boy. I didn't reach out, but sometimes, I'd catch myself wondering if that boy would ever know the story behind his birth. I don't hate her. In a strange way, I'm grateful. Because that night taught me something brutal and freeing. That truth, no matter how painful, is still kinder than living inside a lie. Everyone celebrated that night thinking we were gaining something beautiful. But the truth set me free.